I'm not scared because at the end of the day, I'm gonna get in there, and when I get in there, I'm gonna hurt them. So it's not about being scared. You have to take that out. Obviously, you're gonna take some punches, this and that, but I think the fighters should be way more scared of me being in there with them than them being in there with me.
But like I said, at the end of the day, I'm not scared of nothing. You know, I accept and I invite war. I know with hard work and you know, and me staying motivated, I know I could be the best in the world, but I just gotta wait my time. I think everybody is starting to see that I'm fearless, I'm relentless, and I'll fight anybody to get my respect in the ring. So the way I've seen him handle my presence is he's definitely scared of me. You know, if you have a fighter talking so much trash in front of you, why don't you make an example of him to the world? Beat me in the ring and make a whole lot of money. But Canelo Alvarez, as you can see from every time he fights a guy that's big with power, like the Vol, you know what I mean? And he's not able to suppress these fighters as much as he's able to suppress them.
David Benavidez has directly called out both Canelo Alvarez and Opetaia, making it clear that he is tired of waiting for the biggest fights. He wants to face the most dangerous names and prove himself against elite competition.
To be honest with you, bro, I take it one step at a time. Right now, we got the good thing about me and David Benavidez's stock, we have a lot of great fights on the table. And you guys know I'm gonna take every single one of them. I'm not gonna run from anything because at the end of the day, this is my destiny. If it's my destiny to go through these hard fights and win these world titles, that's what I'm gonna do. This is what boxing is about. I'm sick of seeing fighters getting the easiest fights just because they're getting the biggest paychecks. Like it don't. At the end of the day, it's not even about money. It's about giving the fans of boxing the fights that they deserve. They're paying the money at the end of the day, so let's go to war. Let's do what these people want to see us do, and let's go to war and may the best man.
Opetaia has spent years chasing major challenges at cruiserweight and believes a fight with Benavidez makes sense. If David continues competing for world titles in the division, Opetaia feels their paths should eventually meet.
I believe it is, you know, especially him being in cruiserweight, you know, and to me, it just makes sense. Like, if he's fighting for a world title in my division, why don't people want to see who the best is in the division? Like, it does not make sense to me if we don't fight. You know what I mean? Like, he's coming up fighting for a undisputed, like a unification fight, and he's going to be holding the WBO and WBA. It just doesn't make sense to me that we wouldn't fight. You know, all I got to do is keep winning and keep doing.
Opetaia also warned Benavidez not to underestimate his punching power. He believes David will understand just how dangerous he is once they actually share the ring.
If you chase the punch too much, you're going to make too many mistakes. So, you know, we just got to fight smart, and the punches will come. You know, and I believe the way I box as well, and my speed and my ability, a lot of people underestimate my power, you know what I mean? But they learn quick when I'm in the ring. So it's just about fighting smart, doing our thing. You know, we're born for this shit. You know, we live for these moments, so we just got to prepare properly. And
Max Kellerman believes all the debate should eventually be settled through an actual fight. In his view, the winner between Benavidez and Opetaia would remove the uncertainty and prove who deserves to be considered the best.
When you come into someone else's division who's already the Ring Magazine champion, you have no leg to stand on to say they don't have, this is not legacy for me, they're not big enough yet. He's the champ of the
Kellerman also questions Benavidez's position because he believes David may be using the same reasoning he previously criticized Canelo for using. That contradiction could make his argument for avoiding certain conditions harder to defend.
Benavidez is now using the same excuse to avoid fighting Opetaia as Canelo used to avoid fighting Benavidez. Well, he doesn't really have anything for me yet. He has to build himself up. What does he really bring to the table? I'm looking for legacy fights. Canelo's chasing sanctioning body belts and all that stuff, but it was all nonsense. And Canelo, who's never ducked anyone in his career, except Benavidez at super middleweight, was wrong. And Benavidez should have gotten his shot. And right now, I believe,
Jose Benavidez Sr. believes recognition from boxing legend Julio Cesar Chavez proves that David's performances have earned serious respect. He feels that kind of praise confirms David belongs among the sport's most dangerous fighters.
To be honest with you, Julio Cesar Chavez can say whatever the fuck he wants. He's the champion. He's the Hall of Fame. He's my hero. He's everything, you know, to me, to be honest. Whatever he says, I don't take bad. I listen to what he says, you know? And you know what? Okay, we're gonna work hard. We're gonna keep working hard and keep proving, oh, you give us that recognition, and we got it on Saturday.
Jose wants the major championship showdown to happen as soon as possible instead of being delayed by other plans. He believes injuries, unexpected losses, or career changes could eventually prevent the fight from happening.
The one, you know, to be honest with you, you know, why not take the fight with David Benavidez? You know, or we take your belts away, and that's the plan. You know, in my opinion, that fight, you know, he can get injured. I will cancel that fight, and let's make the fight with David Benavidez. Let's go. Let's make.
Bernie the boxer takes a more skeptical position and questions how serious Benavidez's repeated callouts really are. He believes refusing certain conditions could put more pressure on David to prove that he genuinely wants the matchup.
If he don't want the fight as bad as he say he do. Nah, for real. That's for real. Canelo a 68-pounder. He really ain't a 68-pounder, okay? He really ain't a 68-pounder. So you keep calling Canelo, you not the man. You saying Canelo's still the man. So you got to do what the boss say.
Benavidez has also changed his physical preparation by focusing more on building muscle rather than constantly cutting weight. The goal is to improve his strength, size, and overall physical development while maintaining the intense training that defines his camps.
Training for the past 5 weeks, and it's just, this camp is going to be different because, you know, we're putting on more muscle. You know, I already got the training part down and like the losing weight part down, but now it's different because I'm not going to be losing no weight. You know, the weight is going to come off by itself in 10 weeks. You know, I train like an animal.
David has promised that his future opportunities will be used to chase the toughest opponents available. Instead of choosing comfortable matchups, he wants to face dangerous fighters and create the kind of major fights that can define his legacy.
That date is not, it doesn't belong to one fighter. It was Julio Cesar Chavez, Oscar De La Hoya, Floyd Mayweather, Canelo. It's the people who give the best fights in boxing. And, you know, what I want to do is not only have these dates, but put the best possible fights on there. You know, I feel like when fans come out...
Tim Bradley believes Benavidez could overwhelm Opetaia by forcing him into a physical fight. He feels David's pressure, combinations, and aggression could limit Opetaia's movement and make it difficult for the Australian to fight at his preferred pace.
He gonna beat Opetaia. See, Opetaia got good feet. Yeah, he can box, but he can be drugged into a fight. And if you know anything about David Benavidez, just like he did with Ramirez, he's the one of those guys that's gonna test your heart. He gonna test what you have in here. And once he go to Ja's ass and he tests what he has in here, Ja gonna lose his shit. Ja ain't gonna be boxing and moving around. Ja gonna be looking to fight. Ja gonna get tired too. Yeah, because Ja, if you look at the history of Ja Opetaia, he get tired.
Bradley also believes Opetaia has a path to success if he controls distance and positioning. If the Australian can take advantage of openings created by Benavidez's forward pressure, he could disrupt David's rhythm and prevent him from controlling the fight.
He squares up. And as you saw, yes, he can make it work for himself. Yes. You know, dipping, getting outside, body shot here, dipping this way, body shot, you know, putting them motorboat combinations on his ass, putting them combinations on his opponent, you know. Hey, single right hand, straight left hook. Oh, David is sweet. Them fast ass hands, he is sweet with it. But when we talking about a bigger fighter, somebody's been reigning at heavyweight, somebody that's, has to be perfect or had to be perfect when he faced those bigger champions like Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua. Had to be perfect now. Think about that, because all it takes in the heavyweight division is one.
Bradley has noticed major physical improvements in Benavidez as his career has developed. David appears stronger, faster, and more explosive, which could make his physical advantages even more noticeable if he eventually faces smaller opponents again.
The power and the speed, the combination that he had, was lethal. Better than I ever seen it in his career, period. So going down to 175, going down to 168 pounds, that weakened David. David is a naturally bigger guy. He is. You know, he always has been big his entire life. You know, as a kid, he talks about that, being the little short, fat kid that used to get bullied all.
Lloyd Schofield Jr. strongly supports Benavidez and believes his combination of speed, size, strength, and pressure makes him extremely difficult to deal with. He sees David as a dangerous matchup for almost anyone in the division.
I actually fell asleep. Ain't gonna lie. It was late. Not because it wasn't exciting, but it was late. I was already tired. I had trained, so I was asleep. But when I woke up, I watched the round where he got stopped in, and his speed is crazy. For a big guy, I ain't gonna lie. I don't see nobody beating David for a long time.
Schofield also believes cruiserweight could provide Benavidez with even greater challenges. Fighting naturally bigger opponents would test David in new ways while giving him another opportunity to strengthen his position among boxing's elite.
And out of there, so, I mean, I think Jai Opetaia, like I said, he could beat Benavidez, but it all depends who comes in better that night. But I would definitely favor Benavidez. But I just don't think I think he would have more comp at heavyweight. We would have to.
Bernie the Boxer explains that Benavidez's threat is not simply based on throwing a high number of punches. His speed, power, accuracy, combinations, and ability to attack from different angles allow him to maintain pressure and make it difficult for opponents to predict or counter his attacks.